What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Apocalypse Movies. This is another one of our spoiler discussions. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, joined by Brian and Keith. What's going on, guys?
Ready to talk.
Yeah, so we really only do these for movies that can kind of are worth talking about in depth about spoiler stuff. And usually it's the big universe movies, the Star Wars, superhero movies like that. But I think this movie qualifies, and that is M. Night Shyamalan's Glass, because it's obviously a shared universe film with Unbreakable and Split, and it's a movie that had a lot of hype going into it. And then it's just a movie where the things that happen in the movie we have to talk about in order to explain how we feel about the film and whether it met our expectations or not. We all watched it the other night. Mm-hmm. We had our initial discussion afterwards, and for me, it's always hard talking about a movie when you first walk out
right
of
after it. Yeah.
I tell you guys how I feel, but I need time to think about it. You know, I changed my mind over time. I might watch it again. I haven't seen Glass again, but I will say, my mind has changed a little bit since I've seen it.
For the better or worse?
Better.
Okay.
Because even when we did our non-spoiler review, I was more positive on it than I was when we walked out of the theater.
You did say see it.
Yeah, I think you should see it.
I said save it. What would you have said, Keith? See it, save it, skip it?
I don't know. That's
Let's
the thing.
say you've seen both
movies
and you wanted to see Glass. What would you tell somebody?
If I was looking for it, well, I told someone on Facebook that was looking forward to it to go see it. So
Go
I'd
watch
probably
it,
say see
So
it.
you'd say
If you're looking forward to it, go see it.
You're not just going to not see the conclusion.
Yeah.
You know? But Keith, how do you feel now about the movie?
Well, I've also had some time to think about it, and the more I've kind of talked to people about it, it's kind of like, feh.
Yeah?
Yeah. I get what he's going for, I think, but I just don't.
Just don't know why.
There's so much of it. Like the ending just was the last. The third act was so. They were setting up something in the first two acts that just didn't
translate in that.
Yeah, in the third, it was like just. I don't know.
I see where he was going with. I mean, I was fully ready to have this battle on the tower.
Yeah.
And then, here's a twist. It was never supposed to be on the tower.
Yeah.
And
that's fine.
Yeah.
But
and the hugging fighting. That's what I keep calling it.
Yeah, just shoving match. That's why I was just calling it.
The shove
pushing,
fights and the hug match.
Pushing each other in the cars.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Look, it doesn't have to be Captain America versus whoever, but that's not what they. Bruce Willis is not a trained fighter. He's just a security guard who goes around overpowering people, I guess.
Exactly. And
but
they finally both met somebody they couldn't overpower.
That they couldn't exactly.
Well, I'm gonna say, all right. But did you guys? I thought the first 25 minutes of the movie
fantastic,
were dope.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. I loved the first 20 minutes. So at that point on, I'm like, right up until they crash into the window and they get taken by the group, right?
Yeah.
Everything before that was like, yes, this is awesome. Because you get him, he captures those girls again, and we have that. And then I love Bruce Willis and his son.
Me too.
Same actor. Who was in Unbreakable. Which even though he's not a great actor, obviously.
No.
Like, it was cool. I would still have put the same kid in it, just for nostalgia's sake.
It was cool to see him.
He looks exactly the same.
Yeah, right.
Too.
And then having they're hunting down criminals, and the fact that they've been hunting down the Beast. Yeah. I love that.
Oh, okay. So I'm glad you just reminded me. Okay, so the first continuity error in this movie. So this is set, they say, 3 weeks after the ending of Split.
Yeah.
In that end scene in Split, in the diner where we first see Bruce Willis and we get the Unbreakable connection, the woman is mentioning, wasn't that the same? Remember the man in the wheelchair from 15 years ago? What was his name? And then Bruce Willis, Mr. Glass. So in this movie, 3 weeks later, they keep saying it was 19 years ago.
So
I caught that immediately.
Here's the thing for me. So is on the news feed at the end of Split, is that regarding what happened in Split?
Yes, that was all the stuff that happened at the zoo. So the local man, Kevin, blah, 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 was a zoo worker who may have taken on the persona of several zoo animals.
So how does Mr. Glass come up in that news feed? I'm trying to remember.
No, Bruce Willis, all the patrons are at the bar, or at the diner, watching the news, and there's a woman commenting saying, wow, because on the news they mentioned that the man called himself the Beast.
Oh, okay.
So the woman says, that sounds like that crazy man from 15 years ago. They gave him a funny name, too. What was it?
Oh,
And
okay.
Bruce Willis is overhearing and says, Mr. Glass.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch both movies and
Interesting.
yeah.
But in
that's
this movie, they
something I
say
would
it's
never pick it
19
up
years
on.
ago. Because I watched Split again right before we went to see this, so that's why I was...
Interesting.
Yeah, either that's the case and that's stupid, or we
So, like,
missed something.
how did you think he would... Whatever, but...
He's probably
Yeah.
like, maybe no one will catch.
But the thing is, like, the first 25 minutes of that movie is what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh, that's
and
how
I
it
was
should
like,
have
this
been.
is so smart. I hate action or superhero movies where like they wait so long to get to the action. I was like, they're starting right off the bat. They get to see these guys fight, and I love how the Beast is trying to snap his
crush him.
spine like he does, like he did to the old lady in
Yeah.
Split,
Ugh.
and how
And
he
the
couldn't
security
do
guard.
it.
Yeah.
How he couldn't do it, and he's like, oh, who's this guy?
Right.
Like what? I love that. And then once they get into the asylum, well, actually, I like the first. When they first get there and how like they're both trapped, like there's the water thing and then the lights, but then after that it's like kind of just gets boring, and
There's
I agree
about
with
an
that.
hour
It's-
of just...
the thing is like
talking.
Yeah.
it's slow, and I started to realize like, oh no, like
Well, there's so much of Sarah Paulson, who I like, but it just not really... There's so much of her just constantly reiterating, you don't really, you can't...
yeah.
Giving these explanations for why. Well, the reason you can climb walls is because mountain climbers or rock climbers who can, whatever. Well, I got shot in the face with a shotgun.
Well,
What about-
I actually-
well, that was an old shotgun.
I
Was-
liked that because I was like, okay, she's obviously messing with them, like she's lying to them,
Right.
but they did too much of it. Like
That's what I'm saying. They kept for an hour of that, just constantly. But then when you get to the end of the movie,
had that one scene.
Well-
and I wanted Sam Jackson to be like conscious and talking with them too during that scene.
I would have almost preferred. I probably would have preferred instead of the ending we got, where maybe they actually were crazy and this is all in their heads.
I thought about that.
Even
for a
though,
second.
yeah, I was
like,
thinking, maybe-
what if this
They would
movie
have.
ends and
I
like
would have been like, oh,
Right.
more than what I got.
Because-
to be honest, when that whole the reveal, I was kind of like, wait, what's going on? Like I was confused a little
you know
bit.
what? Even though I could see people getting upset about that, like it was never a superhero world. Like I would like that because it's kind of like these guys were really crazy, and even though we saw things in the movies that would tell us otherwise,
Yeah.
they could say that this is what they perceived,
This
how
is the
they
explanation.
perceived it.
Because
Like,
a person can bend a metal bar if they're
depending
strong
on the
enough.
bar, and then
if
she's like, "Oh, it's old metal." It
Right.
was like an old like shotgun, and I was like, "Okay." Like,
because she almost had me convinced.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
So,
but the thing is, they went on. A majority of the movie is her trying to convince them that they're not superheroes, or they're not superpower beings.
which is why, by the way, and why? Like I know that just
the
she
thing
wanted.
is, so here's a lot of people. I watched a couple of reviews online, and I heard a lot of people ask about that. And I was so the thing is when at the end when she's in the restaurant, she was like, "It worked. I convinced them that they weren't superpowered
Right.
human beings. Let's move on."
That's
to
why
the
she
next
asked
city and do
Bruce
it again."
Willis.
So what she wants to do is break these people down and convince them that they're not super beings, and then kill them. Like,
kill them or hit them
see,
with
I
that
don't-
and-
because they had that machine that they
not
were going to
that,
put.
but also, you know how Sam Jack Glass said by seeing these videos, it's going to open up people's minds and open up their power, their hidden powers.
Which-
Maybe this organization doesn't want. They want people to believe that superpowers don't exist. So
Yeah.
they were an experiment.
Yeah.
No,
all
they
these
said
characters.
that they've done this for 10,000 years or something like that. They've been doing it for a while.
Well, they said they kill anytime they get too big to contain. Like
They've been
they'll
doing it
kill
for
them
a
right
while.
away.
'Cause
Yeah.
there was something about 10,000. I remember.
I heard. Yeah, I remember. It's like that movie Jumper where they're.
But what I got is that they go from town to town and they experiment on these people. They say, "All right, how can I convince them that they're not super beings?" Because
I took it as if they can convince them, they will let them live. If they don't, they kill them. That's how I took it as.
yeah. That
But
works
also
too.
though, see, but then they have the thing that they were going to put Samuel L. Jackson in that I thought just takes their powers away. That's what I thought.
See,
because he
here's-
took the thing out of it. That's why it didn't work.
Here's my thing. Other than him being super smart, what is his power?
he doesn't.
What
it's
is
not.
a power that he has?
That's
He's
my
a-
other
have a
issue.
He's
power.
a genius,
He's just
and it is in no beneficial way is his bones being able to break like glass
No.
beneficial.
That I think it's the whole point because he's like physically the weakest.
well
human
in
being can
Unbreakable.
be.
That's what he said. If there's a person like me, there must be an opposite. Someone who is
Yeah.
indestructible.
Yeah.
that's why he spent his whole life trying to find this
causing
person.
accidents and seeing if someone would survive those things.
Which
Like,
my-
I understand them killing the Beast,
Yeah.
obviously. I understand them.
I don't at all. No, why did that's the one thing? Why
I
did
don't want them to.
Yeah,
but
but
I
go,
understand the superpower aspect of, okay, we have to kill the Beast because he's a freak of nature.
Right.
I understand them having to kill Bruce Willis because he has super strength, whatever he can touch and see. I did not understand, other than his genius
They
IQ.
didn't kill Glass. The Beast did.
I know, but they had him in captivity. They sedated him.
Well, because he's a criminal. Like, he's a criminal mastermind. Like, he's not a
He's a
regular criminal. He's like
yeah.
an insane. That was an insane asylum.
Well, that's why she wanted to use that machine on him to take his mental
And
his
the thing was,
mental
like,
powers
he
away.
believed that his intelligence was a superpower.
I
Yeah.
thought she was gonna give him a lobotomy.
That's what I thought.
That's
It,
what I
it kind of is,
Yeah.
but it would just take because she said you'll still be your core self, like
Yeah.
you'll still be, but just the super intelligence will be
Yeah.
gone.
See, so for me, like, starts off great, and then it starts to get really slow, and I shouldn't have felt this way because it was going so slow that when he kills that security guard and slices his neck, I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
now it's
so
about to- and I
exactly.
started to get excited, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got that excited if it wasn't so boring beforehand.
Yeah.
So like I was like, all right, here we go, and then like the ending was like anticlimactic because I was like, I thought from that point on it was gonna be like very entertaining.
Right.
Up
But it
until
just wasn't.
that part that you just said, I literally dozed off a couple times. Like, I was just like, all right, I can.
I was just sitting there going, okay, where are we going? Because Unbreakable is slow as well.
Yeah.
But it's such a character driven. It's just Bruce Willis like trying to figure out who and what he is.
Yeah.
And his son is being totally
And
convinced that
for
he's
me, here's
this person. And,
probably my biggest negative is in Unbreakable, right? We know there's a theme of comic book movies, right?
Yeah.
In heroes and villains and
And that
powers
store.
and everything, right? There's a theme. It's kind of like it's subtle. It's a subtle aspect in the background of the movie that kind of plays into what's going on with the characters. I very much disliked in Glass how Samuel L. Jackson kept talking. All right, the supporting
constantly explaining how comic books work, which I hated that too.
What?
This is a limited.
So-
This is a limited series where,
Like-
or whatever he said.
I didn't even
What do you
notice
even
it.
like? What are you
I must have
talking
been
about?
tuned out. I didn't even
see,
hear.
that's why Unbreakable is
First of all, it's
special
wrong.
because it does that without shoving it in your face.
Right.
And in this movie, they shove it in your face.
I don't know if M. Night Shyamalan is as big a. I wonder how much of a comic book guy he really, really is. Because yeah, you're right. Like it seemed like a lot of stuff he was explaining, like it was like that doesn't even.
No, I mean it made sense.
I
But
don't
like,
know. To
why?
me, it was-
But why was he doing that? Like it felt jokey and it
That's
felt
what I
like
mean.
like a parody.
Someone
Because
who was
I'm
it?
like, all right, I'm into this scene, and then Sam Jackson out of nowhere says, "Ooh, cast of main characters,"
It's
like
like-
spelling everything out.
Like, are you kidding?
And I'm like,
Oh yeah, when the three.
Yeah.
the thing is, like, we're not idiots.
Anya
We
Taylor.
get that you're playing this out like a comic book. Let us experience it rather
Right.
than saying it every scene for us, what's happening and how it relates
Because
to a
it
comic
felt like
book.
it wasn't.
And see, here's the thing. I love in the trailer and in the movie when he says, "Sounds like the bad guys teaming up." I
too.
like that line. But then,
Yeah.
but don't keep saying those
All that
things
stuff.
all like continuously
Every time something
throughout the
happens,
movie.
this
Because
is what
I
I-
think that's a cool
This
line.
is what this is in the
How he
comics.
says, "Sounds like the bad guys teaming up." Like I think that's a cool
It
line.
seemed like it was Unbreakable came out at a time when the comic books movies are not what they are now, obviously.
Yeah.
But it felt like this was still set in that time, like 18 years ago when comic book movies were like
Yeah.
they were back then, instead of the way they are now, where they're so much smarter and more.
But I did like how it was consistent. Where the Beast feast on the uninnocent, those who haven't suffered.
Yeah, the
Right. So
pure-
that's why he lets Anya Taylor-Joy go at the end
Yeah.
of Split. So in Glass,
Oh,
I was always wondering why. So why I was thinking this whole time, like, why would he just let Sam Jackson live and follow orders from Sam Jackson? But then, like, this guy has suffered his whole entire life.
Yeah.
And he's like, you have suffered. Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason to kill you. So he only kills, like, the uninnocent and those who haven't suffered.
Yeah.
So I like that element. It explained why he didn't kill Sam Jackson and kind of teamed up with them. And then I love how the James McAvoy, how they're like, he doesn't think he can beat the Beast, can he? Like, and that's why he wants to
Yeah.
fight Bruce Willis. It's kind of
Right.
just like
That's a
it's-
challenge.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like
Yeah.
he's never had anyone challenge him.
Yeah, physically
And same
at all.
for the Overseer.
Yeah.
Like, so I liked that. They set it up
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it just did. The
And
payoff was. This
I
time.
wanted them to go fight at that tower.
They should.
I know it would
It
have
should
been.
have though. It didn't have to be. Like I said, it didn't have to be a big
I know it didn't have to be a crazy action scene,
but it could have been.
I wouldn't
better.
have minded the way they kept it without going to the tower if they would have actually fought in the parking lot.
like
Right.
really fought.
Actually
and it,
done
like you said, it
something.
doesn't have to be choreographed Winter
Yeah.
Soldier Captain America fight. Like
But
it can be
something.
Throw
like
some punches.
there wasn't even
Yeah.
a real punch thrown
no,
or anything like
they're just
that.
shoving each other.
And I guess M. Night said, like, this is my, like, version of a superhero movie.
Alright.
But, like,
Well-
come on. Like, that's not entertaining.
I mean, even if
Movies
people
are
that,
meant to entertain. And, like,
even people that get mad with each other, a fight is they're gonna throw fists, not just keep pushing each other
Yeah.
around and hugging each
Just
other.
a drunk. That was like a drunk bar fight.
Yeah, it was not. I felt like the trailer showed all the best parts, and we got the middle of the movies.
Yeah.
like, when he's running at him, like, leaping like a beast, doesn't he, like, stop and then I forget what happens, but, like,
I don't remember.
he should have jumped, leaped at him, and then he, like, knocks him down. And,
Right.
like, it should have been.
Yeah.
You could have made it an entertaining fight without making it seem all, like, choreographed, like they're,
And
ninjas.
why did water? The thing about the water.
M. Night Shyamalan is obsessed with water.
Why? Why did that kill?
Signs,
So
lady in
it's
the
supposed to be.
water.
It's supposed to. Well, in Unbreakable, it's just he can drown,
Well, because
but not water makes him
it
weak.
makes sense because, like, he's physically, like, he's unbreakable, but, like, that doesn't mean he could breathe underwater.
No,
Like
of
you
course.
said, yeah.
But he
now they
still
turned
has.
it
He's still
into-
strong.
Then they turned it into it's part of his backstory, and that's why.
But it should have been. But still, he still should have his strength. Like he
Oh, yeah.
should. That guy
Well,
should have
that's
been
the
able to
thing.
overpower him. They're saying in this that water made him weak,
Yeah, I know.
but which didn't
But
make
I
sense.
think-
Like, well,
I think
when
what they
he's-
were going for was, like, a mental thing. Like,
Well, when he was face down in the puddle, he wasn't like trying to like.
it's a puddle.
He wasn't trying.
3 inches of water.
He wasn't trying to like push himself
Yes,
up or anything.
that's
He
what I'm
was literally
saying.
just like struggling.
so I think that what they were saying is the water made him weak, and that's why
That
was,
bothered me too. That was felt like another because he fell into a pool that had a tarp over it in Unbreakable, and that's why he almost drowned in that one
because he couldn't get out.
he couldn't
That
get
makes
out.
sense. Like
But this was just a little puddle with 3 inches of water
a
in it.
normal
Like why?
strength person.
Just pick yourself up and turn around
It's
and
so
crush
dumb.
that guy.
Like, the
break
thing
his
is, like,
ankle.
Yeah.
in the middle of the movie, they show, like, a van pull up, and the camera closes in on that hole.
Yeah.
And then during the fight,
Yeah.
it shows the
Yeah.
hole again,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
the water breaks out, and then the hole fills up.
I
and
forgot
then-
about that. He was weak to water. When I saw the puddle or the like hole, the sinkhole, puddle, whatever you want to call it, pothole, I was like, "That's going to be something." I was like, "There's a reason they showed
that they keep showing that.
Yeah, because I completely forgot he was weak to the water and
Right.
stuff. So I was just, and to be honest, I didn't even know like why they had the hoses pointed at him. I was just like, I must have forgot something because why is he afraid of getting squirt with water?
Yeah.
And then once they showed the puddle and the water going over, I was like, okay, it's the water that
Yeah.
he's afraid.
So, do you guys agree with me that James McAvoy is the best part of this
Oh,
movie?
150%.
His performance.
He kicks it up. Split and this one is just.
Yeah.
I don't think he got enough recognition for certainly for Split. He probably won't for this either. But
he should
Man.
have done more
wow.
personalities in Split, and I would have liked Split a lot more.
Oh yeah.
He only stuck to like.
Oh, you
4
didn't
or
really
5.
like Split that much?
I was okay with it. I went into it way more excited because the whole thing is he has 27 different personalities. How many did we end up seeing in that
Like
movie?
13 or something.
No,
But
not even.
in
Like
Split,
6.
that was
I think it was
more
like-
than 6.
no, it was
But
like
the thing
10 it
is,
was
you
like
got
12 or
a
13.
majority
Yeah.
of a majority of the time was spent with 5 or 6 of them.
Right.
Yeah. So,
But in this one,
He
they
went through a
showed-
couple of them really
I
fast.
think they showed all of them.
Oh,
in this one.
100%.
It was close to it. Because
I-
there were twins that were like in his native language.
I love
accent.
the
Yeah.
guy with the deep voice. Like
the country one.
I don't know.
Yes, there was that one. There was
forget
a
his
professor,
name.
the one
Yeah.
like the film professor or whatever he was.
I enjoyed it because I felt like you never knew what you were gonna get,
Right.
and if he has 27 different ones, chances are you're not gonna see the same one unless they call them out, like Patricia.
Yeah.
Or what's the little boy's name?
Hedwig.
Hedwig.
I love Hedwig is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh God. And every time those ones came on, they were meaningful, whereas the
Yeah.
other ones were just like he's showing you
pop
how
up just
bad,
to-
you know what crazy
Right,
he
right.
is. If he wasn't even in this movie and didn't perform like he did, I would have said don't even go see this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because he saved what you could save out of this
I
movie.
agree.
That's what I'm saying. Like for me, if you want to see, I think that's so entertaining that you should go see.
Oh,
this
just for
movie.
that. Yeah, that's what I told
because
people.
of
Yeah.
how great he
Seats
is
for
and
that
the
one.
way he, like, actors have hard enough time playing one character that's not themselves. Like he does such a great job.
and his voices.
yeah.
His
And he does all of
voice
them.
is
Well,
just-
and it's not even just the voice;
that.
it's the body language, the mannerisms,
Yeah.
everything. It's so damn good.
I love the PB&J, how he talks like that. I love the Beast's voice too.
yeah,
Yeah.
It literally just sounds like
Because
this,
I don't
like,
think he didn't talk that much in the first.
It's
Split.
barely.
No,
yeah,
But he
like-
does. But it does sound like a demon, like.
And every time he's crawling on a wall,
And like, I
stuff.
love that the
Ugh.
beast
Crazy.
isn't just some wild animal killing everything in its way. It has a purpose. It's to kill those who haven't suffered.
And he said, that, "Yeah, we'll show the world how." Well, in Split, he talked about, "Look, we're going to show the world how powerful we really are," and that's what he wanted to do. That's same with
So they had the
Jackson's able to-
same. They had the same objective.
Yeah,
In a way,
convincing,
yeah.
Talk about Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh,
was
I was gonna
nice.
say, speaking
Yeah.
of
or the
him,
supporting, I guess, people.
But
But
Anya Taylor-Joy.
yeah, very light on her, man. I was
Wah, wah,
disappointed.
wah.
I liked her a lot in Split.
Me too.
I loved her in Split. She's great.
She
She's
seems-
great. I just
I
didn't-
almost want to say that her character shouldn't have even been in this movie.
She didn't
which
really-
is
what'd she
kinda
do?
Sucks. I feel like they'd be like, we have to have her because she was such a big part of
They
Split.
hinted at a thing, and then they didn't take it anywhere. I thought she was also going to be revealed to have powers because when she went into the room to visit him and gave him the hug, and all of a sudden he turned into Kevin, Sarah Paulson was like, "Wow, you have like almost a supernatural connection. Like you were able to turn him." I thought maybe she had some kind of ability
That would have
to,
been kind of dope.
right? And then because at the end she just walks up to the Beast and hugs him,
Dude,
and then he
that-
turns into.
If that would have been one of the twists,
Is that
where
she was
she
a-
gets Anya Taylor-Joy does have it and she gets away from Sarah Paulson's
Right,
crew.
that's a thing I thought.
That would have been dope.
That's the thing I was
because
thinking, yeah.
Then it would have been like, oh, these people didn't. They caught the three big ones, but they let
didn't
one
get-
go away.
You're
That
right.
would have been dope.
Yeah.
I would have down with that. But to me, the whole entire time, she just seemed like this shell-shocked girl that was always gonna
Well,
just
it was the
touch-
Yeah.
thing. So like each of the three main characters, like the Glass, the Beast, and Bruce Willis, they all had to have a regular human character that was connected to
Yeah.
them somehow,
Yeah.
and that was her. That was the Beast.
Yeah. They just
Or
didn't do
Kevin
enough
Wendell
of it.
Crumbs.
Because
I love
Yeah.
the
liked-
Kevin character is so sad, and we didn't get enough
That's
of.
the thing, because we see that in Split, like that character, and that I'm fascinated with.
Me too.
That Split character,
Yeah.
like that's amazing
Yeah.
because
Oh,
he created all these personalities to deal with the trauma that he was going through. And I actually I think we found that out in Split that his dad was on. He says, my dad died on a train, but it was heavily implied that it was the same train. Like we talked about it back then when Split came out, that I bet you it was the same train.
I didn't think of it until
No,
they said
yeah,
this movie.
I completely forgot
I
about
went,
it.
oh,
I-
really? I didn't really get the. I guess if you
Well,
remember that,
like
see, I didn't remember that. So
no,
maybe.
I did, yeah. So because I remember at the time when Split came out, I was like, oh, it guarantee you it's
Because he thought his dad left.
because they tell the backstory, right? And they say that his dad. He says his dad died on a
Okay,
train.
I thought
in
he
Split.
Okay,
And I was like, it's the same train.
I
But
just
it wasn't
I
like
missed
a
that.
mystery.
That's
I think
crazy.
other people realized that too.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of cool because at the end of the day, it's a movie, and it's kind of cool when you have those, ironic connections.
I think they were trying to make it a mystery because they made it like a big reveal. Like he presented
Oh, it
it
was a huge and that
because Sam
Mr.
Jackson was
Glass
like, "Don't tell him yet."
I know,
like,
but that
you know,
plays
like-
into like the whole thing where he's
What he wanted to do,
monologuing everything.
Well,
like, the
Mr. Glass
whole-
was responsible for it, was it
Right.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he
I
was.
mean,
Oh, you're right. Okay.
yeah, I think
that's
that
true.
was kind of the bit, like you said, don't say it
Well,
yet.
because he
Yeah.
didn't want the beast to turn on him
to
yet.
kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Which he does. Unsurprisingly.
But the thing is, like, the way they played that Sam Jackson thing was like, it's like almost like Glass knew that he was in a movie, like, and he was talking to us. You know?
Right.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And I
Completely
just thought that was a mistake. And then a lot of people have a big problem with the organization and
I was gonna
the
bring that
whole
up.
reveal. So let's talk about that really quick, and then any
What?
last thoughts. I mean, for a lot of people that didn't work at all.
I was trying to figure out if I'd seen. Did we see that symbol anywhere?
No, so the only thing I can think of is that we saw it on her arm earlier in the movie.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
then, now that I think about it, so when you see it on his arm, you got to be like,
I think
oh,
one of
wait
the
a
orderlies
second.
may have had it as well.
Like, there's some type of connection there. It's not just that wasn't just a random tattoo on her arm,
Right.
You know. So that's
guess.
the only thing I could think of. But like, so when his mom comes up to him and then he's like, "Oh, it was an origin story all along." Like, is that what he's referring to? Is that organization?
that's what I mean and we talked right after the movie. Like, And that's kind of interesting, the idea that there's this organization. There's a comic, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's an Image comic maybe, where there's a similar organization that they just kind of keep superheroes in check in a similar manner. They don't kill them, but they can. They have the ability to.
Yeah.
But so if they were going to continue this on, I asked you guys, is there going to be more? And I think Jake was like, no, this is supposed to be it.
Yeah, he said he's done.
Which is like, well, then what?
Yeah, then why did
you reveal this then? Like, because it would be interesting to see if there's more people pop up with superpowers, and they have to go and try to, and it gets harder and harder each time. Like, it's the person that can shoot fire, or people that can, a little kid that can see dead people, which I always insisted that should be part of this universe. But I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
I don't feel like it should have been part of this movie. I don't know. It's just, and it's so dumb. Like, he kills Bruce Willis.
Why? I know. I was like, why? Like, I don't know.
He just held his head in the puddle.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. And he didn't even do that. He kept bobbing his head up and down. Like, dude, as soon as he picks his head up and take a breath,
and then,
just push up and knock that guy out.
What is the point of her? If they're about to kill Dunn, right? They're about to kill him. What is the point
of her telling him?
Yeah, what's the point?
I know, right?
It's not like he's gonna go on the rest of his life knowing what she did.
Yeah.
She's straight evil.
Unless I guess
like,
yes.
This is you're dead because of me. Like,
unless
what?
she just wanted him to know, like, or she just wanted to know, like, oh, so did I convince you, David? Did you really think that So he couldn't talk. Did he?
It was very anticlimactic for me.
The sniper had a clover.
Yeah.
The guy that drowned him had a clover.
Yeah.
So I think that, and then she had him, and then they said the group's been around for 10,000 years.
Yeah.
Making sure. I did like how he showed that, like, the comic books were all, like, the comic books are, like, real, and that's how she's kind of, like, finding these characters.
Yeah.
That I did think was kind of cool. Almost like if they're saying, like, comic books are real, these people are the ones taking them out.
Sure.
So that I thought was kind of cool, but the twist was
I did not like so she's in the comic book shop and she overhears the two comic kids. This is the villains. They never reveal their real plan, and so then she.
I'm at least glad like they didn't just end the movie after they killed them though. Like, I knew Glass wouldn't just. If he's supposed to be the super intelligent person, he's not going to.
He must have done.
And they show him typing on the computer in the.
And it looks like he's just hacking into.
Yeah, but that's what he was doing this whole time, which was kind of cool. I don't know. I feel like this movie, like, I don't think it's absolutely terrible. I think it's a disappointing conclusion to the rest of the films.
Yeah.
But I think you can make a few changes. You can, like, make changes to, like, 30% of the movie, and then the movie could be really good.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Any last thoughts on Glass? I mean, obviously, we're all disappointed.
I was disappointed how little Samuel L. Jackson was used.
For a movie that's called Glass.
Yeah.
And he did, like...
He was in it pretty much as a zombie.
Because I want to see him do some super intelligent, evil scientist
I
stuff.
get his whole entire thing. The whole entire movie was basically his plan, but, like, still.
Was it, though? Like, it was, but...
Sure.
Well, especially because the first half of the movie, he's pretending to be, like, not conscious,
just comatose.
A vegetable.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't get to see him. And then after he slices that dude's neck and he wakes up, like, and that's, like, his best moment, from that point on. Yeah, but to be honest, though, I still don't think it's a terrible movie. I'm just extremely disappointed.
No, it's disappointed.
It's a letdown.
It sucks that we're looking forward to it. It's so early in the year, and we already got a big.
Well, that's what's kind of disappointing is, like, we get this big movie at the beginning of the year, and it's just whatever. It's fine. Yeah. All right, well, that's gonna do it for our spoiler discussion. We want to know what you guys thought of Glass. Do you love it for some reason? We want to hear what you think.
For some reason.
No, like, just because I haven't talked to anybody who loves it yet, or heard anybody talk who loves it. Everybody has major problems with it, so I want to hear if somebody loves it. Do you feel similar to us, or do you absolutely hate it? We want to hear your comments in the comment section. Again, I am Jacob. We got Brian and Keith joining me here today. Thank you all for listening. See you guys next time.